Welcome to Same Spit, Different Face TV. Well, my opinions is facts, and if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast. And it's free. So don't forget to spit on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification.
If you clicked on this video to hear about Bobby SHMURDA getting arrested at 12 for selling crack, I need you to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And to my spit squad, drop the word squad in the comments.
2006, you're 12 years old. You got arrested for the first time.
I got arrested for selling crack in 07 when I was 12 turning 13.
Right. This was at the Chinese store?
In the Chinese store.
Right.
06, I was getting arrested, probably fighting and shit. We was fighting.
Yeah.
So I used to fight a lot. And when I used to fight, I used to get a lot of assaults. I don't fight with like hands. I'll put a whole drum set on your head. I'll put a whole drum set on your head.
So I think Bobby SHMURDA is very entertaining, and actually being able to hear some of his story as a child, we kind of understand where he come from, and we kind of understand his meteoric rise. A lot of people who rise from the bottom to the top, not only do they have work ethic, not only do they have some type of talent, you may not think it's talent, but it's still a talent, but they normally be them guys where they from, or them women where they from when they blow up. Now, it less happens where them women are like, you know, them women from their neighborhood, they super known and they blow up, unless we talking about like JT, or we talking about somebody like Cash Doll or somebody like Trina, but mostly it's the men. So Bobby SHMURDA grew up bad in his neighborhood, fighting people, carrying guns, getting caught in raids, home invasions. Not he was doing home invasions, but he had an invasion, he got caught in the middle of a home invasion where one of his homies, Pluto, died. But he got arrested for the first time at 12 for selling crack. And to be honest, the more I hear Bobby SHMURDA's story, the more I am a fan of his, and the more I want him to win, the more I want him to have a comeback. Now, one thing about Bobby SHMURDA is a great personality. So I don't think Bobby SHMURDA necessarily needs to do music. Bobby SHMURDA has the type of personality where he could start a podcast. But one thing I'm just worried about is what's the statute of limitation on a lot of the stuff that he's saying, and do the feds know or the police know about some of these things he's saying? Now, some of these things you may be like, okay, this may have happened already, or these people may have went to jail before for it, but we've seen a lot of times where the feds may find out, oh, this is what happened, and even though it's out of the statute of limitation, they may try to get you for something else and then try to use these other things you said to try to prove a pattern of behavior. So salute to my man Bobby SHMURDA, and not my man like I know him. Just hearing his life story make me root for him more, because he's the underdog, man, and he came up from nothing. And whenever we see somebody come from the hood, whenever I see somebody who come from the hood and able to make something out of themselves, it makes me feel more compelled to support them, because they could be terrorizing their community. Instead, they being a productive citizen. Now, I know he went to jail for 7 years, but I know y'all probably haven't paid attention to that. A lot of the stuff he went to jail for, it wasn't even his fault, really. They just put him inside of a RICO. Now, it was alleged that, you know, an agent tried to sell him a gun. Bobby didn't even want the gun, but the guy kind of forced the gun on him, like, no, get it. I'll give it to you for less. And Bobby was just like, allegedly, Bobby was like, all right, whatever, I'll just get the gun. But then we know he infamously or famously took 7 years, which was less than what he was, more than what he was supposed to get, so Rowdy Rebel could get less time. But in the reality of things, Bobby SHMURDA was only supposed to get like 3 years. Now, if Bobby SHMURDA go do those 3 years and come out, his career is much better. But he ended up taking 7, and he came out. He didn't drop music when, you know, everybody was around him. And that's one of the biggest things why I think rappers mess up. They go to jail for all that time. They come out and they try to get back to regular life. No, get in that studio, because that's what finance your regular life. And a side note, man, I think it's very unfortunate that Young Thug is not allowed to speak and talk about his life while he's on probation, but YFN Lucci is allowed to be in Atlanta. He's allowed to speak on the streets. He's allowed to say certain things, and Young Thug's not. So essentially, I don't know what Fonnie Willis dealings is with YFN Lucci. It was some alluding to her being involved with Donovan Nut Thomas, which means she would have a personal and close relationship with YFN Lucci. But it just feels like Thug was railroaded, and YFN Lucci was just he was able to stay so solid, and his team was able to stay so solid because they knew that they were going to get a sweetheart deal, and he definitely got a sweetheart deal. But that's neither here nor there, man. Once again, man, salute to that boy Bobby SHMURDA. I appreciate hearing his life story, and I look forward to hearing more of his life story. If you're new to the channel and want more celebrity and hip-hop content, hit the subscribe button. And if you hit the subscribe button, you're a part of the Spit Squad. So hit the like button and post squad in the comments. And for any Bobby SHMURDA videos you may have missed, go to the Bobby SHMURDA playlist in the end screen. Check out my original Chicago hood movie in the end screen, No Time to Play Fair. If you into sneakers, you a sneakerhead, you love seeing the new Jordans, Pumas, whatever it may be, subscribe to Kicking It with Fairplay 2333. If you trying to follow me on my basketball journey, my weightlifting and fitness journey, and also be inspired to get back on your fitness journey, subscribe to Fairplay, Flex, and Fadeaway. Also, any of these pages I just named, you can also find them on TikTok or Instagram.